Well, hello, citizens of Tetris. It's your old pal Van Dweller back with more classic Tetris Monthly No Cap November for 2025. And yeah, the level 39 super kill screen, it's done, it's gone. And all that remains is the built-in crash behavior of the NES Tetris game, right? So players can go as long as they want. When they get to 155, if they can keep playing, well, that's up to them. But there's a lot of room for chase downs. We've seen a bunch already in this tournament, and it's early. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. We could have some, kind of pop off in this one. It's quite possible. We are going to do the orange bracket. It's going to be Danv versus Somalian in round one. And the winner will take on Chef O, or O. I say Chef O because it's just weird to say a letter like G, or I guess that's also a name, like, I don't know, in different countries, but it's just weird to say a letter. So I like to say Chef O, whatever. Anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Now, later we do have some kind of, I don't know, couple of just streams here and there, like starting in basically 3 hours, we've got a single Stupid Masters match. It's going to be Ian Keith versus Hecate, round one blue. And then in 6 hours, we have a single match. It's going to be the round two match between Violet versus Tetris Time. But this is going to be the only like full kind of prelim bracket. The other ones are going to be a little mop-up kind of this and that matches. But yeah, Danv versus Somalian, the winner versus Chef O. Let's take a look at our rules. Here are the rules. The rules are that this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play an emulator or console. So long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified, they can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronic or mechanical. Biological turbo only. These matches are best of 5, so the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. We will be doing level 18 starts all the way through. We will be using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. Okay, here's what makes it no cap. Okay, there are different versions of Tetris Gym out there. If you have the crash behavior, set the mode to crash, okay? If you don't have the crash setting, okay, then you can, leave like no line cap, but your scoring will start at 155. If you want to set your line cap to 155, you can do that. But otherwise, if you're setting it to crash, make sure your level 39 super kill screen is turned off. I'm warning you players right now, if you have it turned on and you get to 39 and the super kill screen kicks in, it's going to count, right? There's no do-over, okay? I can't have a game go all the way to 39 and just do it over because of, something you did. All right, I'm not going to spoon feed you something you guys signed up for, okay, to resurrect the meme. Anyway, crash mode set to crash, line cap turned off. If you don't have crash, you can set it to 155, or you can just go uncapped, but it'll stop counting at 155. Okay, makes sense? Doesn't matter. It's going to happen like 2 or 3 times a tournament. And okay. Yeah, and if you do experience tech issues, just keep playing. Your score will probably speak. I don't know. Just keep playing. OBS, internet, PC issues, just keep playing. I will sort it out and give you instructions in chat and verbally. So yeah, just keep going until you hear otherwise. And the winner gets absolutely something. That's a share in a prize pool, which stands right now at $1,321.84. Our prize pools are funded 100% by you, the fans, and the viewers, and the people in chat. Yeah, that's where the prize pool comes from. Why is the prize pool important? Well, it keeps the players coming back to playing this tournament. We like to maintain our status as a top-tier tournament, and y'all contributing to the prize pool every single month keeps that going. So thank you, and we would love to pay our top 8 instead of our top 4. If we get to $2,000, we can pay our top 8. We almost always get to our goals, so thank you for those of you who have contributed in the past, and maybe you'll have a chance to contribute this month too. Use the Matcherino command while you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube, And that will bring up some links. The one that says no cap is the one. Click on that. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner match arena. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube or Discord account. It's easy and fun. On the right side of the screen, you'll see a mustard colored button. It says contribute. Click on that. Enter your amount, hit contribute, and then it'll prompt you for how to pay. And it's like PayPal or a card. And it's easy. And do it. Okay? That's how to support the players. To support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/monthlytetris to make an ongoing pledge of support that keeps this channel going. Having that regular, predictable revenue coming in is the signal that I need to say, yes, you can keep doing Classic Tetris Monthly. You can keep doing extra tournaments. You can keep accommodating the players and their odd schedules instead of just doing it all at once and then having no Tetris throughout the month. So yeah, patreon.com/monthlytetris is a great way to support us. If you don't like that, there are other ways to support us. You can make a recurring pledge via Streamlabs and the PayPal links that are in the channel right now. And I want to give a big shout to Scott Gray, Jane Window, K9 Tacky, Madelsberger, Corporal Shelby Jr., Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Kaka, Java T, Jason Sonny, and everybody else on the slide. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and flop on over to our game scene, refresh the players, adjust their whole thing, and give them pieces and do the whole thing. So just bear with me for one moment while I make all that happen. All right, Danv is here. Tetris hat. He's got a Givenchy shirt on. He's styling with his Tetris hat and his designer hoodie. My goodness. All right, Somalian is here. Where are you? There you are. There's Somalian. I'll fix his camera up. All right. Look at that. Somalian's hair. All right, there's Somalian. I wonder, can we fit Danv's rolls? I'm gonna say, can we fit Danv's rolls into the thing? And then I was thinking like, oh, you can't fit Kingsman's rolls into the. All right, anyway, bad Kingsman joke. All right, just give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. I'll drop the pieces in the chat. Players, you can continue to warm up, and I will be right back. Laurie, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. 13 months, appreciate that. All right, we're gonna drop the piece in the chat. I'll be right back. All right. What they roll now. I don't know what you're saying. How do tappers do this for hours on end? They don't do that. They roll now. Yeah, exactly. All right, the pieces are here. 1196CF. Thank you, Joe from Dublin, for the pin. Now, don't call Joe R75. Like, you cannot, even though this is his chosen Twitch name, do not call Joe by the name that he himself chose and continues to maintain. All right. Thanks, Joe, for the pin. Appreciate that. All right, 1196CF. 1196CF. Both players ready. Let's go. Game number one. It's not a decider. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it's Danv, seed number 17. He qualified into this tournament with a 1.613 million. That was the average of his best one game played in a 1 hour qualifier. For No Cap November, it's a 1 game qualifier. So what you play for an hour, whatever your single solitary best game is, that is your score. Of course, we do that. Why do we do that? Who can explain? I want to test your critical thinking skills. Who can explain in chat why we do that for No Cap November? Anyway, Danv has got an overall PB of 3.83 million, according to the thing that I looked at, which is the robot. And that is a top 22 score. Is also ranked number 20 in the most recent Premier poll, which is a ranking of competitive Tetris players in both open and DAS play styles. And you can find the full results over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end, by the way. Danv is a former CTM Masters event winner, won the Faster Masters event in May of 2023, defeated Gerald Freeman in the finals 4-1. So it was a legitimate, it wasn't any like decider, just kind of early top, but you know, Danv won that fair and square, 4-1, dominating performance in the finals over Gerald Freeman. Danv is a 2-time Mega Masters player. Is that it? Just 2-time Mega Masters player? That's crazy. And he's also a 4-time CTWC Gold Bracket player. Played the last 4 years. Did not play in the... Oh, no, 5 times. 5 times. Sorry, 5 times. Also played in the online year of 2021. Now, listen, Liquipedia editors. I just want to let you know, this is a persistent problem, okay? Some of the CTWCs, the title is the year first, and some of them, Classic Tetris World Championship is first. And so when you alphabetize the tournament list, they don't show up together. So I'm just letting you know that if anybody's a Liquipedia editor and they want to take on a little project or look into that, just saying. But anyway, Danv is also one of the few players who has won a Masters, Challengers, Futures, and Hopefuls. He's won all 4 of our named tournaments. He's also the winner of CTWC France this year, beat Mark in the finals. And you've also seen him at regionals throughout the world, like the Classic Tetris UK Championship, Austria. I think did he show up at Lone Star one of these years? I don't know. He's all over the place. Oh, randomly Columbus, Ohio. I don't know why he's there, but he did. Classic Tetris European Championship is where he went. So he's been all over the world playing Tetris, spreading the joy of Tetris everywhere he goes. 375 for Danv, 356 for Somalian. And not spreading joy everywhere he goes is Somalian. Somalian qualified into seed number 32 with a 1.63 million. That 1.63 million, that is number 67 on the PB leaderboard. No cap, guys. It really is number 67 on the PB leaderboard. Somalian from the United States of America. He has won 2 Challenger circuits, 2 Hopeful circuits. He was the winner of CTWC Iberia. And just in case you don't know what Iberia is, it's like the Iberian Peninsula, like Spain and Portugal, right? Look at that geography. So he was the winner of that in 2022. I don't know I don't know. I guess he goes out there, and he was also the runner-up in the Iberia qualifier this year, which is crazy. The three-time CTWC gold bracket player, 21, 22, and 24. Also played in C-Tech in the online years, 2020 and 2021. Those are, yeah, the two online years. PAL, those are PAL tournaments, right? Played in Pumpy's one-day tournament, Classic Tetris level 12, LOL Pog Cup in 23, Classic Tetris Wars, Battle Royale, CT DAS. He's all over the place. Also a three-time Mega Masters player, and actually went out to Danv this year in Mega Masters. So maybe Somalian has got a little bit of vengeance on his mind. Right now, he's pacing 612 through 128. Danv is into 19 at 600, so this next line clear for Somalian will put him into 19, and both players in with a 600K transition. 624 Danv, 661 for Somalian. What's up, Kip? How's it going? Acidic Ascetic, Floxe Violet will be playing later today against Tetris Time. Tetris for Somalian, 714, 682 for Danv. Hepta is here. Cat Vinity, Cat Kunoichi. ABC Liam is here, says 6-7 in the chat. Now, why would you say something like that? We don't talk about 6-7 on this channel. Tetris for Somalian, 773, 767 Danv. So Danv tightening up this, but no, that left side, that is going to be kind of an under roll, and that's going to cause some holes in the stack. This is going to allow Somalian maybe to widen that lead again. Long bar down, Tetris Somalian, 828. Hope your AC is still good, by the way. Hope you were also good yourself, Vandy. Well, it remains to be seen. There is a weird smell coming from the AC. I can't definitively say that it's mold. It might be the weird mold-free paint that they painted a lot of the surfaces and the ventilation system with. So I don't know. We'll see. It does smell weird, though. But at least we can live. AC is working. The heat is working. 819 for Danv, 924 for Somalian. Now, you are watching No Cap November, and that means we have removed the level 39 super kill screen. It means players can play more or less indefinitely with an asterisk, and that asterisk is that we have left in the default crash behavior of the original NES Tetris cartridge. So we are not imposing the cap. The developers of NES Tetris are imposing the cap. So level 39 will not be a speed increase. Players can just keep going. A90 for Somalian on 27. He's got the 1.1, 100,000 point lead, more than that. For Somalian right now, Tetris for Danv, A19. He's got the max on 27. And Somalian with the 1.1 into 28. Paint in the ventilation. Well, not in the ventilation. They did a treatment in the ventilation. It's just like a mold resistant treatment, and so we'll see how it goes. Regina Phalange with the sub on Twitch. Danv into 29. He's got a 1.1. Danv gonna Tetris into 29 with a 1.2 and a clean board and a Tetris for Somalian. C42. Danv needs a bar right quick, and we'll see what he can do. No, that is gonna be a top out for Danv, and Somalian is good. So that early pace is gonna pay off for Somalian. And he is gonna, and he was topping out. So that, yeah, that was important. So Somalian goes up a game to none. Regina Phalange. I love that. All right, the new pieces are in the chat. 6D7527. 6 Delta 7527. And you can take a moment. You don't have to go right in. You can shake your hands out. It's fine. Man, when did these, am I getting weaker? Why are these Gatorade bottles so hard to open? Jeez. My God, I can't open the damn thing. I guess I'm getting weaker. All right, there it is. God. They're very hard to open, you agree. All right. 6D752762. All right, let's go. Game number 2, Danv and Somalian. Somalian is up 1 game to none. Have I done the under the shirt strat? Yeah, I do that. I do the under the shirt strat. Everybody does that, right? Does anyone not know about the under the shirt strat for opening bottles? Does anyone know that? At least Gatorade bottles have the grippy lids. Yeah, I guess so. Esther has become a member over on YouTube. Thank you, Esther. They're childproof. Yeah, they don't want all the kids, getting all the power of electrolytes. My God. You don't want electrolytes to fall in the wrong hands. The under the shirt method would require you lifting the shirt up. Nobody wants to see that. I bet some people want to see that. Call it. There are whole communities around that. 51,000 for Somalian, 69,000 for Danv. Both players are gonna Tetris. For jars and stuff, another strat is to turn it upside down and smack the bottom real hard. I think there are communities around that too. What is the highest number of lines someone has gotten in this tourney this year? I think we've gotten in the 40s, level 40 somewhere. I guess I use like a silicone trivet. Cold Bucket had a 46 chase down. Yeah, that's right. I mean, not Cold Bucket. Cole. Not Cold Bucket. Cole. Don't call people by the names that they, choose on Twitch, okay? It's wrong. I see a word, I say it. 212 for Danv, 173 for Somalian. You go by whatever Vandy calls you. Yeah, C-dubs, Colby, whatever it takes. That's right. Just because someone can choose pretty much any Twitch name they want and then continue to go by that Twitch name doesn't mean you can just call them by the name that they've chosen. Okay? And continue to endorse implicitly by not changing. Tetris for Somalian 269, 288 for Danv. All right, Tetris Somalian. All right, so these players have faced each other 4 times, according to Liquipedia. once in one of the old school WPL Classic Tetris Opens. Those were the online tournaments hosted by Beast and Shen. And I guess that was just a 1-0. It was literally Somalian beat Danv 1-0. So I don't know why it was 1-0, but okay. And Danv has won the 3 matches since, one in CTL, one in May of 2023, which was the month Danv won the Faster Masters. So they faced each other that month in round 1. And then also in Mega Masters this year, as I mentioned, Danv knocked out Somalian. So again, Somalian with a little bit of vengeance on his mind. Tetris Somalian 442, 454 for Danv. What's up, Chen? Chen is here, of course. Tetris Somalian 511, 525 for Danv. What's up, Burbia? Another Tetris Somalian 534. So 2 more Tetrises available for Somalian if he goes no burns here. Stands up that Z to tuck in the T. And 596 for Danv into 19. Somalian going to be close to that. Tetris is, gets the Tetris right after 19 to get him to 583. So pretty healthy 19 scores for these players again. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. 1 line apart. Danv ahead by 38,000. All right, there we go. Somalian, Tetris, nice 1 burn solve there. I feel like playing some Tetris today. I feel like playing. I guess I should play like I guess I'm in the community tournament and I must be in the are we doing no bars, lower tiers? I don't even know. I don't even remember. I don't remember. I think we are. I should play along. Yeah, I should put my thing on the screen and play along. $791 for Danv, $755 for Somalian. Tetris Danv 820, 762 Somalian, level 23. Lines are tied. Hepta, if he's saying how do I change pads and what does it mean, saying buy new pads, I mean, he probably doesn't know what pads means, so you can't just say buy new pads. Hepta, come on now. All right, Danv in a little bit of a sitch here, gets the long bar over to the left. Oh my goodness, and he hangs the next one. So this is going to be really tough. He's got to get the bar. He's got to get it over. Oh, he chops it down. Oh no, and he's going to hang. Oh, and he gets the bar over. Oh no, that is going to be a top out for Danv at 930. So the chase down target for Somalian, 931. And yeah, you can see players getting droughted here. Long bar in Tetris Somalian. He's going to go up 2 games to 1. None. Not 1. None. All right, Somalian going to go for the max here. Just mulling this out. And not going to get it. All right, players. Yeah, that was intentional. I agree. He's like, yeah, I don't want to play anymore. All right, I am going to go ahead and put pieces in the chat. Players, you can take a moment if you need it. That is totally fine. We're gonna, yeah, Somalian needs a moment. We're gonna run ads here. Somalian, you don't have to tell us like the full details, okay? You can just see and say, I need a minute. That's fine. We don't need, we don't need the full details. Colin, don't wash your hands because then your hands will get slippery. So you can't wash your hands when you're playing Tetris. You'll be too slippery. It's the only time it's okay to not wash your hands. That's why you should never touch anyone else's controller, by the way. Like literally never do that. That's why, like, you know, you go to a like live event and people ask you like, hey, sign my controller. And you're like, do I have to? Do I have to? You know, you may as well just have me sign your toilet seat. No, you should definitely wash your hands. And dry them thoroughly. That's what you should do. Thanks again to Lori and Esther for resubbing over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Gina Flange, thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate that. Just a quick note, everybody. We have a prize pool. You guys are invited to contribute to it, support the players. Let us pay, you know, twice the number of people. Lure these players back month after month for the, you know, the prospect of winning big dollars and funding their Tetris travels and all that. Use that Matcherino command while you're watching live. To bring up the links, click on the one that says no cap. That'll take you over where you can contribute. And if you want to support the channel, there's a bunch of different ways here in the support command, and I've put it in there for you. Guys, at least when I have to use the bathroom, I just say something like, oh, I have to take care of something in the apartment. I'll be right back. Or I just lie and tell you somebody knocked on the door or that we have a package. You know, nobody needs to hear it. You're going to the bathroom. All right, well, at least he took his gloves off. We're all human. Yeah, but we don't need to know that we're human. C-Dubs says, sorry, Vandy BRB, a burglar just broke in and I have to grab the baseball bat from the other room. Yeah, no problem, C-Dubs. You grab that baseball bat. All right, did I put pieces in the chat? A9 1B EC. We'll just use those. And players, you know, when you get a moment. Never understood why saying you have to go to the bathroom is a weird thing. I just don't want to. Picture it. I don't want to think about it. Yeah, this is a new seed. You're right. A91B EC. So you don't want a status report now that he's back? Yeah, I need a full post-mortem. I need all the details. I don't want any of the details. Please don't put any of the details. Please don't. You never picture it? Oh, well, you're a very innocent person. All right, A91 BEC, as soon as both leaders signal they're ready, we can start. All right, both players ready. It's game number 3. Somalian is up 2-0, coming out of that 32 seed, looking to advance to the round of 24 and round 2. Let's go 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, Somalian with that 5 and below. Danv with the more traditional. I don't know if it's traditional. Is there a tradition? I don't know. Whoa, that's weird. 2 different people in different chats just said lock in Dan. Marktris on YouTube and Joe on Twitch like simultaneously said lock in Dan. Although Mark used a comma, which I appreciate. Apparently Joe wants to like lock in Dan, like literally put him in a room and don't let him out. 48,000 for Danv, 73,000 for Somalian. Right, for a moment it was same lines, same score. $130 Dan, $145 Somalian. All right, Dan taking a couple of skims here to get Tetris ready. Not skims, really, but a couple of burns there. Tetris Somalian, 239 through 54. 205 for Danv through 56. The winner of this match will take on... O. Or Chef O, or whatever you call O. I mean, it's just weird to call someone a letter. I feel weird. Tetris Somalian, 297 through 73, 235 for Danv through 69. All right, Dan is set up again. Here's Tetris for Dan. Yeah, it's kind of weird to watch masters or players are like actually getting long bars and doing so much of the stupid Tetris monthly, and like long bars never come and no one ever gets triples, and I mean no one ever gets Tetrises. I can't even distinguish between triples and Tetrises now. What about L? If you think that's just one letter disguised as 4. Oh well, you've made a good point. So yeah, if O like spelled it in some Australian way, I don't know. Oh, or something. I don't know. Oh, how do you say O in Australia? I don't know. O-E-U-G-U-E. Yeah, something like that. Tetris for Danv 422, 463 Somalian. They're each going to tack on a Tetris. About a 41,000 point lead for Somalian right now, 2 lines apart. O's name in Australian is pronounced like R because no, I can't. Yeah, something like that. Don't make me say those syllables anymore. $556 Somalian. He's got one more Tetris that he can get. 419. And he's going to get it. There it is. He sets up immediately again. 580 for Somalian. Danv going to take a single into 19. Anya Kahneman says, hi, I just joined. Which type of event is this? This is No Cap November. So players are playing NES Tetris without any additional line cap imposed. Normally, we impose an additional speed increase at level 39 because, well, otherwise these matches last too long. But for this month, we have not imposed any additional line cap, so players can play basically on infinite mode until something weird happens at level 155. I don't know if that informs you or not, but that is what we are doing. Somalian 654, 612 for Dan. And Somalian's board starting to climb a little bit, and it's a bit dependent here. At some S's, sometimes S's are bad, sometimes Z's are bad, sometimes both are bad. So we'll see what he can do here. 662, Danv 621 with a good board. Oh, Somalian. Can he survive this? This is going to be tough, but it's doable. Needs a bar like right now, and no. That's going to be a top out for Somalian at 665. The target for Danv is 666. Long bar gets in 657. He's 8,000 away. And the long bar goes in. Danv is good in game number 3. That Danv typing in Gaelic all of a sudden. It's all right. Okay, 460F98. 460F98. Have you gotten a game past 39 in any matches? Yes, several. All right, looks like both players ready. Let's go. Game number 4, Danv looking to win to force a deciding game 5, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, whoops. I double counted down instead of turning off the seed checker. That's all right. Double countdown. Yeah, we've had multiple players chase down into the 40 levels. Tetris Somalian. Danv keeps that well open, gets a bar. Tetris for him. All right, Danv gonna work this stack back down. Man, a little bit safer. A little bit safer. All right, he's working it down, trying to weather some RNG here. We got a bit of a kind of a mesa in the middle of his board, though. He's working it down, and yeah, this is a drought. Long bar is finally coming. Danv gets a Tetris Somalian. Opens up that column one well, 3 rows up, gets a Tetris 111 for him, 91,000 for Danv. Cat Vinity says, are the rubber pads necessary in the controller? Can I take it out and then re-screw? No, you cannot. The rubber pads are there because they are the way that your mechanical presses of the D-pad is changed into the electrical on and off of the controllers. So you cannot do that. You do need the rubber pads. You can buy new rubber pads on the internet. If you're in the CTM Discord, you can find links to good pads. But there's also a lot of crappy pads out there. So ask in the controller channel in CTM Discord. Where can I get new pads? Yeah, just go to the CTM Discord. Someone will give you the link. You need a spring too, otherwise the button only goes down, not back up. Oh well, yeah, that's the pad does that as well. I thought you were like, Tom J, there's no spring in there, but I see what you mean. The rubber provides the springy up and down motion of the button. Right. Colby says, I've had my controller since 2021 and never changed the pads. Yeah, it shows. $305 for Danv, $322 for Somalian. Got him. 368 for Somalian, 327 for Danv. You've had 7 controllers be weird in 7 days. Yeah, it could be the NES issue, NES problem. Try the connector. Like if you get some compressed air and spray it a little, spray it into the connector. Like there's little holes where it connects, like I think 5 or 6 holes. Could be something in there. Could also be a loose connection. 419 for Danv, 421 for Somalian, so pretty darn close right now. Yeah, just 2 lines apart, 2,000 points apart. Not even. I got my controller a few weeks ago and it already double flips. Is Hyperkin's quality going down or something? Yeah, try changing the pads. It's possible they're using low quality pads. 516 for Danv, 517 for Somalian. It's also possible you got something dirty in there, so clean the contacts. Like open it up, put some isopropyl alcohol on a Q-tip and maybe clean the contacts. It's possible it came dirty from the factory. 563 into 19 for Dan V. 565 for Somalian. So yeah, basically 2,000 points apart at the 19 transition. Tetris tech support with Vandy. Yeah, I'm like the least qualified person to provide, tech support. You took it apart, so that might be why. Oh yeah, well that's possible too. If you took it apart, then the pads might not be seated properly. Like you might have to reseat the pads. Just make sure they're actually in the position that they're supposed to be in. It's possible that they didn't, kind of land right when you put it all back together. So just take it apart, make sure everything is where it is supposed to be, and try again. You'll check if these pads are in the right places, Catfinity. If you've had 7 controllers, all have problems. I mean, maybe you got a crappy batch of controllers, but that would seem to indicate that there's something else going on. Right? Mills methods, guys. $6.99 for Dan V. They don't teach 13-year-olds Mills methods. $7.01 for Dan V. $7.66 for Somalian. What is Mills methods? Don't worry. It's just a philosophy reference. But basically, it's the idea of like trying to figure out what is the cause of something by changing one variable at a time and then seeing what changes. So 812 for Somalian, 806 for Dan V. Treba says, common sense. Yeah, it was common sense before, it was common sense after somebody explicitly formulated it and discovered it. Yeah. $848 for Dan V. Long bar goes down. Tetris $882. $859 for Somalian. Yeah, John Stuart Mill formulated these 5 principles, 5 methods. See if I can remember them all. The method of difference, the method of residue, the method of agreement, concomitant variation, and I forget the other one. $9.99 for Dan V, $9.69 for Somalian. So we're into level 30. We're talking about Mills methods. So yeah, just your normal CTM stream here. Triska, things are newer than you think they are. You like those methods implicit, not explicitly identified. So Somalian, oh goodness gracious, Somalian is in a top out spiral, and that is going to be a win for Danv in game number 4, and we are going to a decider. Somalian's like, man, I read the script. Yeah, it's not like people were not, you know, there was in spirit, there was a, you know, some measure of experimental science before John Stuart Mill, obviously. And so, yeah, people were doing stuff, but it's haphazard. And it's the explicit identification of principles that allows you to actually not waste a lot of time doing stupid stuff, right? So, yeah, like making something explicit, which is only implicit and unstated, is not like, oh, anybody would have figured it out. None of us would have done it. For some reason, my button is not working, so let's see. There we go. 948871. Yeah, what was it? All right. Residue, concomitant variation, agreement, difference, and shoot. Ultimately, they all, I think, reduce down to agreement and difference. The other three are just like fancy. They're just kind of variations on them. But oh, indirect difference and difference. All right, that's right. Ultimately, I think they all reduce to difference and agreement. But all right, looks like both players are ready, and they are both on seed, and that means we are about to start this deciding game number 5 between Danv and Somalian in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Is the seed okay? I think so. No, they are different seeds, guys. You're on different seeds. I got owned by the seed checker. So this is your warm-up game. We're going to top out. You are not on the same seed. Thanks, Joe. I even ran the seed checker, but I'm like thrown off. So yeah, this is a top out, guys. That was my fault. Good work, Joe. So I got owned. And who was it that was off? It was Somalian, of course. Yeah, Danv, he put a B. And I looked at it. The problem is, like, I'm blaming Danv because Danv is on this, you know, idiosyncratic CT UK Tetris gym, and so the seed does not appear in the same place. So I'm really blaming Danv, even though Somalian was the one who did it. Yeah, they're not in the same place. So it's really all Danv's fault. Again. Oh, you want me to reverse the decider? All right, I will. There you go. All right, D66FEE, right? D66FE. All right, we're good. That was your warm-up. Ready? Feel good? All right, let's go. Real decider for real, no cap, on God. This is the real one, I promise. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Well, Madelsberger, I mean, like, so yeah, there are things that are so, oh, whoops. Let me think about this. I think we're using, the word obvious, in two different senses. I think there's somehow in this discussion an equivocation on obvious somehow. But listen, I'm trying to commentate a Tetris match here. I cannot referee a philosophical debate as well, although I started it. No one's condescending, Zook. It's just, listen, you know how to talk. You know how when people talk on the internet, tone does not come across. You know that. That's like foundational principle of talking on the internet, right? I didn't see it as that at all. 133 for Danv, 116 for Somalian. Yeah, I think the number one thing to know about the internet is don't try to infer tone. Tone doesn't come through in text, especially like extemporaneous chatting, for sure. The Vitz for Somalian is filled in. 163 for Somalian. But I will say, giving something a name, like something might be like obvious or implicit or people sort of kind of know, but giving something a name is super important because now you can make an explicit method of it, right? So it's not trivial. You just say, we all knew it, but somebody happened to give it a name. But like, we didn't all know it, We sort of kind of half knew it, could only half apply it. But now that you have a name and a definition, you have power over it. You can use it explicitly. So there's a power to that. $246 for Danv, 281 for Somalia. You can see like, oh, Newton. All Newton did was just, gravity. So whatever. Things fell down forever. So all Newton did was just give it a name and whatever. But yeah, like now that we have explicit principles, we can harness the principles and use them and understand more. 350 for Somalian, 322 for Danv. Dan with the Tetris 369, 396 for Somalian. Are the Tetris blocks falling because of gravity? No, actually, they are not. The actual Tetris blocks we were seeing are not falling because of gravity. It seems like it. It's meant to simulate gravity, but it's not because of gravity. $447 for Somalian, $438 for Danv. Well, yeah, just a typical CTM stream. Typical CTM stream. It's either fast food or philosophy, right? I mean, it's called gravity, but that's an analogy, Zoltan, right? It's a metaphor. $486 for Danv, $518 for Somalian. So Somalian into 19 at 542. Danv with a triple and a Tetris into 19, 516 for him. One line apart, about 30,000 points apart. There's a Tetris for Danv, 571, 597, Somalian. Tetris for Danv, and he's in the real-time lead right now. They're basically tied now. They're just going to trade this lead back and forth until someone hits a slowdown. Nice adjust for Somalian with that T-piece. Saw that J coming in and knew he could make a dependency there and did. Tetris Somalian 743. It's been a really close match. Regina Phalange, you're in intellectual property law? That's fascinating. Oh, goodness. Somalian now with a mess to clean up. Somalian. Oh, no. And that is going to do it. Somalian is going to top out at 786. And Danv is already ahead. And Somalian going to get reversed swept courtesy of Danv. GG's to you, Somalian. You played great. Good performance, 32 seed. Kind of a low seed for Somalian. Usually comes in higher, but yeah, coming in at 32 seed. Good challenge to that 17 seed. So GG's to you, Somalian. Hope to see you again in future events. And now we are going to play against so let me report this. We'll run ads. We're going to run. Yeah, we're going to run and report. The old run and report. Quick, someone lock Dan in the room. All right, we'll give him his 3 so he can feel good. He's got his 3. We'll get rid of the D. There you go. Excuse me. Okay, what do I have to do? All right, I have to thank Somalian again. That's on the list. Thanks, Somalian. Again, GG's. Or goodbye, 32. And hello, Danv. Oh, wait, Danv's from Australia on the right side. What? Let me fix that. Oh, no. Let me fix that. That is not right. Holy moly. Danv from Australia. I did this in the last minute, so. What? GBR. And let's see, get rid of Somalian's head here. We'll get Danv. Goodbye, Somalian. Hello, Dan. Whoops. All right, Danv is what? Seed number 17. GBR. Let me see if I remember his PB. 3.84. Is it 3.84? Something like that. 3.83. 3.83. Rank 20. And then I got to put a star there too. I got to go find my star. Copy the star. 1, 2, 3. Paste. 1. All right, Danv. Export. Player right 17. ME. All right, should be good now. Sorry, Dan. And then we'll bring in O. All right, y'all. Just give me a moment here. I'll drop the pieces, and then I'll be right back. You haven't set a PB in a long time. It's just set PB. All right. Did I deliver the pieces? I'm going to deliver the pieces and then I will be right back. I just have to take care of something in the apartment. I'll be right back. Arctic, that would be a very, I can't, it's very rare that has to happen during a Masters event. I can think of like maybe twice, maybe twice during a stream that's ever happened. I mean, normally. Oh, what is that? What are we looking at? We're looking at something. We're looking at like Minecraft. Hold on. What are we looking at? We're looking at this. I don't know what we're looking at. Oh, all right. Some kind of, little Minecraft thing. Looks like a Minecraft thing. I don't know what it really is, but that's what it looks like. All right, folks, just a reminder. Oh, and you've got an O on your, look at this, styling. All right, reminder that we do have a prize pool. It has been stuck on 132184 for a while. So if you do want to contribute to the prize pool, use that Matcherino command, bring up the links, and, you know, get on over there. 1, 5, 25, 100, 500, 2,500, whatever you got. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let me just quickly fix Danv's cam because he wasn't sitting down when I had this. So, and we'll reverse him. There's Danv. Reverse him, get him looking good, confident, secure. There he is. Big Dan. Givenchy. All right, let's get him started. O versus Danv in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. This is round 2 of the CTM Masters event. No Cap November edition. O versus Danv, round 2. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Starting off with the SJJL, right? Okay, good. We did start the same. And then let me just adjust these cams a little bit more so the players are roughly the same size. We don't want to disadvantage one of our players by making them smaller than the other player. That would be wrong. On the left side of your screen, it's an Australian. And on the right side of your screen, it's a British person. The Australian qualified into this tournament with a 1.66 million. That was the average of, no, it was not an average. It was his best game, his single one best game played in a 1 hour qualifying period. No Cap November is a, just one game determines your seeding because, you know, it's basically, it can go on forever. So like, what if one player got like a 25 million and then didn't get a second game and they didn't qualify into the tournament? That would be weird, right? So one game, and you know, you could have one game take the entire hour. So it's like, oh, you didn't have another game. So what? You're disqualified? Like, what do you do? So it's just one game because why not? And also, it's a throwback to the old way that we used to do CTM. It used to be like, what was your one best game? All right, nice overhang and tuck for 194, 187 for Danv. Anyway, O is from Australia, has a PB of 2.11 million. That's a top 50 score. And I don't know, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen O in something CTM-wise. When was that? Yeah, that was May of 2025. O played in Mega Masters and then played the month after. So we haven't seen O in a Masters event since May of 2025. So no Cap November, bringing all the kids to the yard. O is a winner of a future circuit, did that back in September of 2022. Three-time Mega Masters player. Played a bunch in futures and challengers. Played in Classic Tetris Wars, Classic Tetris League back in the early days. Back in like, you know, season 13, which was still in 2021. It's crazy that they had 13 seasons as of 2021. And now they only have 16 seasons as of 2025, or I'm sorry, 29 seasons. So 16 additional seasons in 4 years. So I guess they must be going seasonally. So it's kind of weird they got so many seasons in the early days. But anyway, that is O or Chef O or whatever. And we say Chef O because I don't like to say O. It's weird to say one letter for someone. But I guess I should do it. You call people by, I guess, what they want to be called. So there is O on the left side. On the right side, Danv, former CTM Masters event winner, won in May 2023, Faster Masters. He's also one of the few players to have who have won a Masters, Challengers, Futures, and Hopefuls. I don't know. There's not a lot of people who've done that. Is Danv the only one? I feel like there's at least one other person who's done that. I'll have to check on that. 473 for O, 427 for Danv. I guess I have to look in the list of Hopefuls winners and try to find Masters winners in that list and then go from there. 473 for Dan, 518 for O. Danv defeated Somalian in round 1 to get here to this round 2 match. And Danv also the winner of CTWC France this year, and he's been all around the world at the UK regional, Ohio regional, played in Mega Masters, what, 3 times? 2 times. Is that it? 2 times? We're into 19 now, 611 for O, 567 for Danv. Also played in CTWC gold bracket 4 times. His best finish was in 2022, where he was in the top 16. Went out to the eventual winner of that event, Eric ICX. Played in Austria Regional, CTWC DAS in 2023. Dan also played in our second ever Stupid Tetris monthly annual, one time a year event in 2021. And he went out to the winner of that, who was Scott Obozo. $720 for O, $678 for Danv. Colin says if you're going to get knocked out of a tournament, it stings less when the person who knocked you out ends up winning the tournament. Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't sting at all. I mean, either you played well enough or you didn't, or, you just kind of, go with flow. Equanimity, Paldas Tetris raid party of 7. But yeah, I do agree, It's all right, well, at least I lost to the winner. Because I would have won if it weren't for the guy who was going to winning, right? It's preordained. 987 for Danv, 982 for O. Britt QK says, hello there, I have returned. Well, thank goodness. Anime Cat says, I always root for whoever eliminated me. Yeah, I do the same. Jungle Cook says, I'm the opposite. If someone takes me out of a tourney, I want them to get destroyed. I think that's the minority opinion, I think. I don't know. What do you think? Do you prefer... All right, someone knocks you out of a tournament. Do you, 1, if you root against them, 2, if you root for them, okay? 1 against, 2 for. Both players have maxed out. They're on level 28. All right. Seems like the twos have it. I guess some people maybe don't root for anybody, so it doesn't matter. Or they just root for whoever they want to win. But that's the third option we didn't put in there. So Super Kai says 1. I want them to get destroyed. All right, B67 for O, C00 for Dan V. O on the ropes, and oh no, can't get that bar over. That's going to be a top out for O. And Dan V is good in game number 1. So yeah, it seems like the twos have it. C-Dubs is 3, says, I stopped watching the tournament altogether. I mean, that's valid. Tugi says, I would have won Masters October if Scooty didn't exist. Yep, Bear. Yeah, indeed. All right, so Dan V is good. We're going to drop some new pieces in the chat. Yeah, like, you know, I played Green Tea in April of 2018. And I totally would have won if Green Tea wasn't there. Wait, who won in April? Was it Green Tea? I don't think so. Who won in April of 2018? I don't know. I actually might have. True. True. Let's see. April of 2018 was Corian. But Green Tea did go to the finals, so I would have gone to the finals if it weren't for Green Tea. Colby says, yeah, let me check my memory and see who won. I have that right offhand in my brain. Some people do, C-Dub. Some people actually do. Guys, I cannot. It's soon going to be 2026. Please don't let me go 10 years. You know, I started in 2018. Don't let me go until, you know, whatever 10 years is, 2027 or whatever. All right, let's go. Both players are on seed. Both players ready. Let's go. Game number 2. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. That's too long. If I get to 10, that is too long. Captain says, so many J-O openers. Well, it is no... Oh. Scratch that. That's for Vandy Late Night. All right, 50,000 for O, 71,000 for Dan V. C-Dub says, I'll take over if you can pay me equal to what I make it work. Yeah, I mean, I can't even make what I make it work. Oh, how am I going to pay someone? All right, 144 for O, 163 for Dan V. I feel like my filter is very weak today. And lately. I gotta figure out why that is. Maybe it's all the fasting, you know? Tetris for Dan, 301, 281 for O. Oh, all right. Little adjust here going on for Dan. We do have more Tetris for you today. Really just kind of two oddball matches. One is a round one match in Stupid Tetris Monthly. That's going to be Ian Keith versus Hecate. That'll start in 1 hour and 16 minutes. And then there's, what's the other one? Oh, Violet versus Tetris Time. I think that is in 4 hours, 16 minutes. Tetris for O, 489, 444 for Danv. At some point in the near future, I'm not sure when it's going to be, but sometime before this summer, we're going to have, I think it's a one-time event. And it's going to be the Try Hard Cup. And it's going to be a tournament that you're only eligible, or you're eligible to qualify into only if you have not won at that level or higher. So no Masters winners are allowed. You can be a Challengers winner and qualify into the top tier, or you could be a Futures winner and qualify into the Challengers tier. But yeah, so it's one for people who have not had a chance to win at the next highest tier. It won't count as a Masters win, but it should be a fun tournament. $616 for Danv, $580 for O. So Danv will not be allowed. No Alex T, no Blue Scooty, no Dog. No Corion. Sorry, Corion. No Joseph Saley, no Ben Mullen. But yeah, I do want to do that. I just have a list of tournaments that I want to do. Well, kind of a misflip there for Danv. And I just want to get through the entire list over the course of the next half a year to a year, something like that. Danv gonna knock that down with a triple. Oh my goodness. The survival here for Dan. What the heck? Danv at 672 and knocking this down. This might be some of the most impressive survival I've seen so far. This is wild. And there's a dirty Tetris for Dan. And he is just like one line away from opening up that right side. Waiting on the bar. And there's the Tetris for Dan. I have never seen anyone so locked in. 833 for O. $781 for Danv. Yeah, clip it and ship it to Lightspin Media. some of the, I mean, the tucks that he had to do at that high level of precision, and then to get a piece going the other way. I mean, I don't know if I've actually ever been more impressed. That is crazy. 822 for Danv, 936 for O. Tetris for Danv, 858. And there's another Tetris for O. So O is ahead by over 100,000 points. Of course, this is no cap November, so players have, you know, forever and a day to try to overcome nearly any score difference. So we'll see what happens. Tetris for Dan 908. O has got the max out and more. He's at A45. Dan into 29. Now he's at 951. O with the 1.1. It's going to take that nice safe triple. He's got a lead, doesn't have to press, and he's got really all the time in the world. So Dan back by 175,000 points. All right, Danv fighting this down. Oh, no, that left side bar for Danv, just able to get the max out. Not going to be enough. And O was going to take game number 2 and tie this up, but really impressive. I thought Danv was going to get out of another nearly impossible situation, but my goodness gracious. So, O, you are good. O's got the F on the screen. There you go. Look at that. Got the F right there. All right. I will put the piece in the chat, but players feel free to take a moment. I'm going to run an ad real quick, so you do have a minute. A6C549. Thank you, Zook. Zook. What would happen if a Masters winner qualified into Masters? Would they be put in challengers? No, you cannot qualify for any tournament lower than what you've already won. So no Masters winners can play in that tournament at all. Okay, A6, C5, 4, 9, both players ready. Let's go. Game number 3. What was once best of 5, now best of 3. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, so no, 2023 is going to be 11 different people are going to be not eligible for this tournament. So Luis and Doge. No Pixelandy. Oh, no Sidnev from 2024. No SV. I don't know. I want to give it a try, see what happens. And who knows, maybe run it once a year and hopefully you're not eligible the next year, right? 124 for O, 102 for Dan. Oh, Dan gonna miss with that S. And now he's in a little bit of a scramble. Long bar down. There we go. Finally, Dan V. 136. 197 for O. Can you guys hear me cracking my knuckles? $149, Dan V. 270 for O. You can hear the synovial fluid being, I guess, what, squirted out of my knuckles or something? Is that what it's called? Synovial fluid? I'm not a doctor, just in case you guys were confused. I'm just a guy with a library card. $203 for Dan V. 319 for O. Catvinity, you're trying to farm the raid after? Is that what you're trying to do? Oh, I see. Because earlier you're like, I can't believe I only have 2 viewers. Oh, man. I'll never get the raid because Peak is streaming now. I'll raid you. Tetris for Dan, 296, 394 for O, so about 100,000 point lead for O. A little adjust there for Dan. Voice accurate. Yeah, I mean, it's, to me, that's every chatter. If I haven't heard them speak and you're just a generic chatter, that's kind of what I think you sound like. Dan Tetris 370, 433 for O. Dan's cut into that lead a little bit. Catvinity says my voice sounds like an 8-year-old on helium. Wait, aren't you an 8-year-old on helium? $438 for Dan, 504 for O. All right, both players into 19. There's a Tetris Dan 480. There's one for O level 20. 84,000 point lead. Oh, got it, Catvinity. What is the age? You know how kids, like, if you guess a kid's age wrong, you know, they get really indignant, you know? They're like, oh, you know, Sally is 8 years old. She'd be like, I'm not 8, I'm 9. You know, and they get really mad. When does that stop? Like, when do they stop getting indignant about it? It just flips to the opposite. There must be some equilibrium age where it's like, you know, yes, I am 16. Yes. Or whatever it is. I feel like there's some age where they kind of be like, oh, you know, just a polite correction as opposed to, you know, just a rage. 613 for Dan V, 775 for O. Kadir 61 plays says, hey Vandy, what are the numbers between 5 and 8? Oh my god. Someone wants to get banned, I think. Yeah, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. That's right. Tetris Dan V 737. 938 for O. So like a 200,000 point lead for O right now as we approach level 29. Now we got a lot of time for chase down, so players do not have to try to cram every last point in before level 39. O has got the A50. 814 for Dan. Alfred says, my daughter, 15, gets mistaken for a teacher by teachers and staff at her school that she doesn't know. She gets a bit annoyed by having the wrong age guests. Oh, Dan, my goodness. Now he's got to get a log bar over, and he does. Super clutch from Dan right there. Tetris for O, B44, 912 for Dan. Now he's got to get another bar over the other side. He's just hanging bars left and right, and no, that's going to be a top for Dan. And O is going to go up 2-1. That game had very few bars. Oh, yeah. Look at that, guys. Look at this. Holy moly. 74 through level 32. Yikes. Poet says, why so aggressive when no cap? I don't get it. Well, I don't know. If I had a really good answer for that, I'd be good enough to play. The new pieces are here. 27910C. Thank you, Zook. Okay. Looks like both players are already 2-7. Okay. Game number 4. We're going to start that right now. Oh, up 2-1. 3-2-1 Tetris. In the previous match, Dan was down 2-0 and came back and won it. And now he's down 2-1. So another comeback Dan is looking to do. O is 1 win away from advancing to the round of 16 after what? 5-6 months not participating in the Masters event. It's a 1-hour qualifier. That is correct, Catvinity. How many months was it, C-Dub? 6, 7, something like that. .1050, 106 Dan V. That's the dumbest thing on earth. Not really. It is not the, I wish it were the dumbest thing on earth. What is this game? It has long bars. I know. What the heck? All right, Dan's cleaned up, and he's got a Tetris well over in column 10. Long bar goes in. Tetris Dan 205. Catvinity's going back to Hatris. Now, what could we do in Hatris? Like no. I guess you could do no cap November, right? Just eliminate the baseball cap from Hatris. See what happens. The 5 below for Dan V in columns 8, 9. And 7, 8, 9. Heptus says, could there be a 6-7 Stupid Tetris monthly in the 6 or 7 month where you can't place a piece in a way that precisely occupies column 6, 7, and those only? That would be very hard to police. I think I saw in the Discord that Cobra, I don't know, I or somebody else proposed a mode where you can only Tetris in columns 6 or 7. and then Cobra did it and maxed out. I think it took him 37 levels to max out, but he did it. O is mad. I think it's every time I say 6, 7, he's like, stop it. Stop saying it. I don't know what he's saying, but I think it's every time I say that. 309 for Oath, now 332, 390 for Dan V. What if there was a mod of Tetris where there were only line pieces? There is. I mean, that's a Game Genie code you can do. It's not that interesting. If you're halfway decent at, your Tetris mechanics, it's not that interesting. So I do not think it would make a good Stupid Tetris monthly mode. It tests no particular skill. Yeah, even I can max out on all bars. One mode that is interesting to me. Oh, the Vits for Danv. It's gonna pay off. He gets a Tetris. One mode that is, you know, sort of in the same spirit as all bars is 7-bag RNG. So you would be guaranteed. So you'd basically have essentially, I don't know if it's exactly, but essentially the same RNG as modern Tetris. So you'd be guaranteed to get every piece once every at least, what, 13 lines or something? But I still think that would not be that interesting because, you know, it becomes very algorithmic. Yeah, you would still have to, you know, you'd still have to move pieces well and all that, but it's the droughts, you know, the potential for droughts and having to improvise that I think that makes NES Tetris special. So I'm not sure how interesting it would be. $5.99 for O, $6.46 for Danv. The pros would just get 100% Tetris rate. Well, that's what I wonder. That's what I wonder. Crunch modes. Yeah, we're going to do crunch. Tetris for 0671. Danv with that. All right, well, he's going to make quick work of that whole mess over on the right side. $8.04 Dan, $7.30 for O. STM Pal. You mean literally just pay Pal Tetris as Stupid Tetris Monthly? Might be. It's kind of insulting, Catfinity. Yeah, just classic Tetris Pal is Stupid Tetris Monthly. That is not a nice thing to say. 900,000 flat for Danv. There's another Tetris, 932. 887 for O. STM every level is charcoal. I mean, that's like an eye test, or that's like how good is your CRT? All right, Danv's got the 1.1. O has got the max. There's a dirty for Dan, and another Tetris for him. B73. He could potentially get a 1.2, and he will take a 1.2 into 29. All right. Oh no, O's board. That is going to be a top out, and Danv is going to tie it up, and he is headed to another decider. Vandy, is the Toast song gone from your playlist? No, I just think it's so far down that we never get to it. So Danv is going to play another decider. And in addition to being 15 minutes late, that's why this stream has gone on a long time. Yeah, where is the Toast song? Yeah, we probably won't get to it. It's like way after the Say the Line song. You want me to play it? I don't take orders, Joe. I gotta take orders now. Play the song. Man, imperative. Do the roar? Take my orders. People bossing me around. You know, I'm... Vandy, pay my gas bill. Oh, what do you got? You have... That's a root beer, right? Is that a root beer? O does not know how to line up. Oh. You do not know how to line up. This is the second time you try to show something to the camera, and it's been... You've put it too far to your right. It's the second time. Just put it in front of your body. Just hold it right in front of your body. That's all. No, just hold it in front of your body and just put it in front of your body. Oh my God. We can see your body when you're in position. Just put it in front. Oh, it's a decider. All right, got it. He doesn't know. Either that should be the stupid Tetris monthly mode. Show us something on camera. There you go. Look at there it is. That's all you got to do. Oh yeah, Bundaberg. That's a root beer, right? Is that a root beer? I think it is. Bundaberg. 258D. It's like, oh, let me hold up the camera, and it's like always off camera. Oh, it's a ginger beer. That's right. I've had that. I do like ginger beer. All right, it looks like both players are ready to start this game. So 258 D72. They both have the 8. That's good news. So let's go ahead and get them started. Decider time in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. The winner of this goes to the top 16. It's a regular decider. Wow. All right, here it is. Yeah, the winner of this will move on to the next round to play against Blue Scooty. This is Danv's second consecutive decider. How do I exit things like setups and quick tap in Tetris Gym? The same, you just hit I think B button, right? When you're on the level select screen. Now I gotta look. Yeah, I mean, it's the same way exiting a normal Tetris game, right? Right, AB, if you're in the game itself, AB select start. If you're on the menu, then I think it's just B button to go back, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. $127 for O, $144 for Dan V. You know, it'd be a cool idea. I don't know if it's a cool idea, but it's an idea. If somebody hosted like a play along stream. So, like, you know, they streamed it at the same time as like the Masters event matches, like, you know, one of our brackets or whatever. And then they did it like like Monday Night Chase Down, had like 6 or 8 people on the screen playing the same seed, and then see who can beat the winner. Like, does anyone beat the winner? That'd be kind of fun. Okay, 247 for O, 281 for Danv. There's a Tetris for Dan, 349, 319 for O. So really nobody has made use of really the full array of levels that we have available for the players. I don't think anyone's gotten a 39, so there's always been kind of early top outs so far. Classic Tetris Wars idea. Yeah, I don't know if they would want to do it, but if somebody wants to stream it on monthly Tetris 2. Tetris for Dan, 428, 370 for O. There's the Vits filled in. Tetris Dan, 456. Gonna get set back up again. Oh, with a Tetris 472. Dan trying to open up. And he does. He gets a Tetris 508. And Dan gonna wait on a blue J. No, ends up having to take the S spin. It works. Tetris Dan 532. Chef O's board starting to climb a bit. We get some nice pieces here to control the height of this stack. STM no piece spawn delay. A little gimmicky, and I don't want to mess up people's timing if they're playing in other events. You need those, you need those extra seconds, or no line clear delay. What about no line clear, no piece spawn delay? I think that's a Game Genie code. STM checkerboard. Yeah, we could do that. I think checkerboard is STM worthy. Tetris for O. There's dirty 581, 688 for Dan. So now it's Dan with the 100,000 point lead. What is checkerboard? Yeah, it's a training mode on the gym cartridge where it gives you essentially a checkerboard pattern of blocks and gaps. And then the mode ends. It's almost like B-type, but the mode ends once you've cleared all the checkerboard lines. So what would we do it for, lines or score? STM no line clears. Like just all push down points. Maybe like a level 0 start. I don't know. All right, so basically, yeah, CTM streams are three things. One, fast food. Two, heated philosophical arguments. Three, suggestions for stupid Tetris monthly modes. That's like what our streams are now. What's that background music? Says I play an expert on the interweb. This is the music. A12 for Dan. That is a max out. The A stands for 1,000,000 points. Tetris, Dan, A54. 861 for O. That's right. A as in a million. All right, Dan V is into 29 with a B06. Gaps in the sack here, but gets a nice Tetris. That'll help him keep the stack under control. B47 Dan. $977 for O, but 180,000 point lead for Dan. You like the min out idea? Yeah, I mean, we did that back in the day. That was challenging. It was harder than players thought to just get all singles. So we might do that again. Oh no, this is going to be a top out for O at A41, and Dan V is going to come from behind and take game number 5 and win this one 3-2. So Dan V was behind in both of his matches today, but able to muster a win in both of them. So it will be Dan V moving on to face Blue Scooty in the round of 16. So GG's. Oh, you did great, especially for not having played in Masters in, I don't know, 6-7 months. So GG's to you. But it will be Dan V hanging on to move on. So let us show you the bracket. Oh wait, he's showing us something. Oh, that's a giant T-piece. What the heck? Where did you make that? Dan, put it in front of your body so we can see it. No, where did you get that? What is that? He stole it? Did you steal that? Is that stolen property? Do they have property rights in the UK? Dan, while I have you, people also want to know when you're going to upload the August DAS finals. Thank you. All right. I got to pay him though. I got to pay him. All right, there he is. So yeah, let's go ahead and show you the bracket. That's the bracket. That's not this bracket. That is last month's bracket. What the heck? Let me fix that. November. Here it is. Your phone is about to die? Of course. Sure it is. Uh-huh. All right, so yeah, we have some players into our round of 16. Dan V is in. He'll be taking on Blue Scooty. Cobra is in. He'll be taking on Huff. Cole is in. He'll be taking on Dog. And Guafi is in, and he'll be taking on Sidnev. So still 4 more combatants, contestants, challengers, if you will. trying to make it in. Today, we will have more. So in like 30 minutes, we're going to have a Stupid Tetris Monthly solo match. That is going to be Ian Keith versus Hecate. And then at like 3.5 hours from now, there's going to be a single round 2 match, and that will actually determine who plays against Pixel Andy. So we'll have another top 16er determined. That's going to be Tetris Time versus Violet. Okay. Thanks to everybody who supported the stream. Let's see. Will it come up? Will it come up? It's not coming up. Oh my God. Do I need to refresh it? Oh God. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, there it is. Wait, Pixel Andy spells pixel with a 1 in his name? Yes, he does, Caitlin. Yes, he does. How am I just noticing this? Yeah, he does. He's on his Twitch page, yes, and then like in regular life, it's just an I. Yeah. Regina Phalange, thanks for the Twitch sub. Memberships over on YouTube, Lori and Esther, Raid, Paldas Tetris, thank you. Patrons, thank you. Scott Gray, Jane the Window, K9, Tacky, Middlesburger, Corporal Shelby, Junior, Troy Dan, Kim Emerald, Potato Cat, Kit, Javin, DJ, Jason, Sunny, everybody else, thank you. Appreciate that. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Prize pool still stuck at 1321. Maybe we'll make some more during prime time tonight. But thanks everybody who's contributed to the prize pool so far. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. We'll be back in a half hour for a Stupid Tetris Monthly match. Hecate versus Ian Keith. So until then, I bid you adieu. Goodbye, YouTube. Twitch, I guess we'll raid you somewhere. Let me mute myself so I don't hear myself. Oh,